Hello everybody, and welcome to a very special product review and demo video. So for those of you who have been watching for a good while, you know it has been a very long time since I've done any sort of board game review, product review, or anything along those lines. And while the biggest reason for that has been I simply haven't had enough time, there also hasn't been a game or a thing that has really sucked me in and caught my attention until now, and that is Blinks by Move38. This was a Kickstarter campaign that they did a while ago that was pretty massively successful. The company was nice enough to send me a copy of one of the sets that they have. They've got a total of 4 sets, and each of them come with 9 blinks. So the blinks are hexagonal plastic pieces that have Arduino brains inside of them, and magnets that allow you to hold them together and create kind of a landscape in different shapes and sizes and do all sorts of stuff, just like you see with any sort of hexagonal board game of any sort. The unique thing about this is that each one of the individual blinks actually has programming for a specific game. So the idea is that you'll have this group of blinks over here, you have another one that you attach on, and it will teach the game to the rest of them, and then you can play to your heart's content. It is absolutely amazing and tremendously versatile and replayable. Like I said, there's a total of 4 of these that are out there that all have different games associated with them. Mine in particular has some really fun ones. I really like Wham myself. Astro is a really fun one, as is Paintbrush. They really remind me of a lot of board games like Hive, and of course you have like Whack-A-Mole in Wham and all this sort of thing. The age recommendation is upwards of 14 years old to start, but I think that's mostly for the development, which I'll talk about in just a little bit. But the fact is, you can play solo, you can play with any number of people essentially, and basically the sky is the limit because these blinks all talk to one another, and it's a very smooth and fun thing to watch, frankly. So the way that this works is all of the Arduino brains will talk to one another and teach each other whatever needs to be taught, and then they act as a single unit in order to play whatever game you have selected. And you can actually order an SDK, in other words a software development kit, which uses the Arduino programming language, which is based off of C++, so you can actually make your own games or teach yourself programming or teach your kids programming or whatever you want to do. There is so much that you can do with this, and that's why it's not a board game, it's not fully a toy, it's not fully either one, but it's a combination of both that works on so many levels. We've seen a lot of board games that integrate electronics and apps and stuff like that. We have seen electronics that are made as toys, but this, for me, takes it to a whole other level, and I was immensely excited and frankly ecstatic to see the sheer capabilities that the blinks have. And so with that, we're going to head over to my desk real quick so that I can show you a couple of examples of how the games work. Okay everybody, here we are at my desk ready to start playing with the blinks. So at first glance, they don't look like too much. I mean, they are solid plastic, they feel really good in the hand, and we can see all of the labels for the different games that each individual one has programmed in. The really fun thing is on the other side though. This is the top of the blinks where we'll actually see all of the cool glowing lights and all of this sort of stuff. So all of the games that we've got here, we've got Wham, Puzzle 101, Heist, Paintbrush, whole bunch of different stuff that each have their own unique strategies, design, and all sorts of different things to do. We also have an instruction booklet inside of the box that tells you how to play each one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to demo 2 of the games for you. I'm going to demo the Wham as well as Paintbrush because those are some of my favorites that I personally have found. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to turn these on. All that you need to do is click it, and it starts turning on, and you can see that there are 6 LEDs inside of this. There's the Arduino brain inside that you can't actually see. In addition, on the sides you have neodymium magnets as well as data transfer pipes that act in order to teach the rest of the clusters. So I've got my little cluster right here. All I have to do is have my one on one come into all of the others, and all of them start to turn on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Wham and I'm going to long hold it until it turns into a blue with a spinning wheel, just like that. And what this means is that it's ready to teach. And so I'm going to stick it right here. And now it's going to teach the rest of the cluster how to play Wham. This is effectively a whack-a-mole game where the idea is that I'm going to have a bunch of greens and then I'm going to have a few reds that I have to punch and push. Now you can set it up however you want. Of course, if you have multiple sets of blinks, then you can make it much bigger. All sorts of different stuff. The possibilities are endless with this. It's absolutely incredible and it's a ton of fun. So now the game is ready to play. All I have to do is double tap on any of the blinks here and it starts the game. I need to watch out for the red ones. When they pop up, I just push them and then it goes to the next round. This particular game, I believe, goes upwards of 30 rounds. If you go there, then you win. And the idea is that you can play with multiple people, try to see who can go the farthest. You can play with teams, you can do however you want. Doesn't really matter. You can make up your own version of it and all that sort of thing. The other issue with this is that the red ones do have little countdown timers, so if you miss any of them, then the game is over. And you can also have strikes. So if I hit a green one, then I get a strike. If I do it again, I get a second strike. And if I miss them, then the game is over just like that. So it's unfortunate. But all I have to do is double click any of the other ones and we're back to the menu, ready to start again. And that's all it is. Very simple, very easy to play. And again, perfect for younger kids even, because it allows them to recognize and react very quickly. Next up, I'm going to do Paintbrush. This is a really fascinating one because it reminds me a little bit of Hive, where the idea is that you're trying to make the rest of the colony, so to speak, kind of your own color. You're not exactly trying to command and surround anything, but the point is that each player has a paintbrush, and with your particular paintbrush, you are trying to make the entire canvas, or as much as possible of it, your color by moving the bits around, or the blinks around, and having the individual colored sections touch the other sections on either side so that they'll all turn your particular color. So the game is ready now. You can see it's a very dimly lit purplish blue. And what I'm going to do is take two of them off, one for each player in this case. And so when I start single pressing these, they will change different colors. And these will effectively indicate, you know, our individual players. So we'll go with green and yellow in this particular case, or let's go with purple and yellow. It's a little bit easier to distinguish. So we'll have player 1 go right here as purple, and player 2 go right here as yellow. Now you can see the two adjacent pieces next to the purple lit up and the two adjacent ones next to the yellow lit up. So on the first player's first turn, they are going to take their little brush here, move it over here, immediately start encroaching on player 2's territory. And so player 2 is going to go over here and go just like that. And this just keeps going, and you can keep changing the colors. You can overwrite your opponent's colors, where these two are purple right now. I can move in and I can change them to yellow. And the idea is that you can move anything as long as it does not change the actual, as long as it doesn't actually break the structure of the hexagons. So I can take this one as, say, the orange player, and I can put it right there, and it essentially makes all of the things change there. I can take this as the purple player, turn it around, and now I've started building up the middle section. And so that's pretty much all it is. That's how the game works. It's really simple, really easy to play, and a ton of fun. After you're all done with everything, you just need to shut it all off. As long as they're in a cluster, you can just long hold any one of them, and then they'll all shut off together. It takes a little while, but there you go. In addition, the case comes with this nifty little sushi wrap type thing. There's actually two of them to hold all of them, but these are magnetic. And so all you do is you stick your little guys on here, and you can roll them up just like sushi, and then you can sort of stack them inside, and it makes for a very convenient, easy to use little travel thing. So it becomes very, very small, and as long as you know how to play the games, you remember how to play the games, you don't even need to bring the instructions. But you can see I can bring 6 of them into one of the individual little things here. The other 3 would have to go in the other one. But that said, that's my little demo for it. Hope that you enjoyed it. Again, I find it very fascinating. It's potentially endlessly entertaining with all of the different games that you can play, not to mention all of the other sets that they've got available. But with that, I'm going to stop rambling here and we're going to head back over there for some final thoughts as well as some more information on Blinks and Move38. So I hope you enjoyed my little demo for the Blinks, and again, there's a lot more of it out there than what I just have here. You've got your SDK kits where you can build your own actual games off of this. There are the other pre-made kits that you can purchase from the website, all that kind of stuff. It's truly incredible. It's a wonderful, fun way to learn programming. It's a great way to interact with all numbers of members of the family, because you don't need to be 14 to be able to like push the little buttons or whatever it happens to be. It's just a fun, awesome thing to do, and it's absolutely incredible. I really love it. I want to send out my major thanks to the company, to Move38, for sending me a sample of it so that I can mess around with it, because it's been genuinely fun. My 11-year-old stepdaughter has had a blast with it, and I practically had to rip it out of her hands just so that I could do this video, so that I could talk about it. It is really, really wonderful. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend you give it a try if you get a chance. Blinks and all of its iterations. Great game, great product, and a ton of fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you'll consider it.